Hello friends, today I invite you to play this in the background. Breathe slowly and let the ideas settle. This is financial education for the mind, not the noise. Have you ever watched someone invest without panic, without rushing, without hesitation, without that electric pulse of fear or excitement that most people feel the moment money moves? It almost seems unnatural, almost inhuman, because in a world where markets rise and fall like shifting tides, where headlines scream danger every morning, and where everyone seems to be running toward the next shiny promise, there exists a different kind of investor, a quiet one, a patient one, a person who makes decisions almost like a monk arranging stones in a garden, slow, precise, thoughtful, and detached. They are not cold, they are simply calm. And somehow, without loud victories or dramatic risks, they build extraordinary wealth. Today, we explore why. This is the story of the calm investor, and how emotionless decisions create results that emotional choices never will. To understand the calm investor, we must first understand human nature. Money is emotional by design. It triggers instincts older than civilization, survival, fear, status, and belonging. And because of that, most people don't invest, they react. They react to the news. They react to trends. They react to losses and gains and rumors. They react to what others are doing. For thousands of years, the human mind was trained for immediate threats, storms, predators, scarcity. But investing is the opposite. It rewards distance, time, silence. Most people treat investing like a fire alarm. The calm investor treats it like a sunrise. To understand why this difference matters, imagine two people standing on a beach. One stands at the edge, watching every wave as if each one decides the fate of the ocean. The other stands a few steps back, studying the tide, the deeper rhythm beneath the surface. The first person feels chaos, the second person feels pattern. The same happens in the market. Most people see chaos. The calm investor sees rhythm. The difference between those two viewpoints is everything. Emotionless decision-making does not mean lack of care. It means lack of disturbance. It is the art of separating the event from the reaction, the loss from the panic, the gain from the ego. Because emotional investing is exhausting, and exhausted minds make impulsive choices. But calm investors understand something subtle. When emotions rise, wisdom falls, and wealth follows wisdom, not emotion. Let's go deeper. A. Why the market rewards calmness. Markets are designed to transfer wealth from the emotional to the patient. When everyone sells, the calm investor keeps their hands still. When everyone buys, they observe before moving. When everyone shouts, they whisper. When everyone panics, they breathe. There is a quiet advantage in not rushing, in not reacting, in not letting temporary noise disrupt long-term clarity. Because calmness reveals patterns that panic hides. And over time, those patterns compound faster than any strategy. B. The hidden cost of emotional investing. Every emotional decision leaves a scar, a panic sale, a desperate buy-in, a rushed attempt to catch up before it's too late, a fear-driven withdrawal because headlines looked terrifying. Each moment feels small, but together they create a pattern of lost potential. Imagine a traveler constantly changing roads because the clouds look suspicious. They would never arrive. Calm investors stay on the road. Storms pass, clouds move, but the path remains. C. The calm investor's real power. The calm investor does something simple, but rare. They make decisions when they are calm, and they stick to those decisions when they are not. This is the cornerstone of extraordinary wealth: consistency without chaos, commitment without volatility, direction without panic. If you remove emotional noise, if you remove the need for quick wins, if you remove the obsession with timing, you're left with something pure, a system that compounds, a mind that stays steady, a strategy that survives every storm. Let's imagine the life of a calm investor. Not the mythical genius, not the billionaire who moves markets, just a regular person who thinks differently. Part 1. The quiet beginning. They begin with a simple realization: I do not control the market. I control how I respond to it. It's a powerful shift. Most people think their outcome depends on external events, but the calm investor sees the truth. The market is not the problem. Reactivity is. So, instead of chasing opportunities, they design rules, clear rules, simple ones, rules they can trust when emotions rise, because clarity is the antidote to panic. Part 2. The emergence of detachment. With time, detachment grows. The calm investor stops checking prices every morning. They stop watching every drop in value like a detective solving a crime. They stop comparing themselves to friends, influencers, strangers. This silence creates a new kind of vision. Imagine a lake. When the water is disturbed, you see only ripples, but when it becomes still, you see depth. The calm investor's mind becomes like that lake, still enough to see clearly. And in that clarity, something remarkable happens. They stop treating investing like entertainment. They stop getting adrenaline from charts. They stop emotional gambling. They become observers of their own reactions. They learn their patterns. They learn their triggers. They learn when their mind is lying to them. And slowly, very slowly, their decisions become emotionless, not cold, just clean. Part 3. When the world panics, they pause. One of the defining moments for calm investors is how they behave during fear. Everyone else sees a falling market and feels danger. The calm investor sees time slowing down. They see opportunity in the drop. They see discounts instead of disasters. They see cycles instead of endings. While others rush to escape, the calm investor whispers, "This too shall pass." Their patience is not passive. It is strategic, calculated, intentional. They know that fear is temporary, but the assets purchased during fear can grow forever. Part 4. The separation from ego. But calmness is not only about fear, it's also about resisting excitement, because excitement is just fear wearing a different mask. Fear of missing out, fear of being late, fear of not being part of the winning crowd. Calm investors don't chase hype, not because they are smarter, but because they understand the cost. Every rush toward fast money is a step away from true wealth. They don't need to win quickly. They don't need to double their money overnight. They don't need to be the star of the group chat. Their ego is quiet. Their identity is not tied to being right. Their value is not tied to market cycles. This detachment, this humility, is one of their greatest strengths. Part 5. The slow build of extraordinary wealth. Here's the secret that emotional investors hate to hear. Extraordinary wealth is built slowly, so slowly that impatient people mistake it for a mistake. Calm investors excel because they operate on a different timeline. They know a market crash is not a tragedy. A sideways year is not a failure. A small gain is not too little. A long hold is not a waste of time. They play the long game because the long game has no enemies. It only has compounding. And compounding is undefeated. The calm investor becomes wealthy not through luck, but through the absence of self-sabotage. Their portfolio is not a battlefield, it is a garden, and gardens do not grow from excitement, they grow from patience. Part 6. The world tries to shake them, but even the calm investor faces challenges. Silence does not protect you from noise. Friends brag about fast profits. The news warns of doom. The market dips unexpectedly. A sudden surge makes it tempting to act now or regret later. But the calm investor returns to their center, their rules, their long-term perspective. Like a lighthouse, standing still while waves crash, they remain unmoved. Not because they are immune, but because they are anchored, and that anchor is emotional discipline. Part 7. Wealth begins to emerge. Years pass, not days, not weeks, years. Quietly, almost invisibly, the calm investor's decisions compound. Their consistency becomes strength. Their patience becomes advantage. Their unemotional approach becomes wealth. And then something beautiful happens. The wealth they once chased begins to chase them, not because they did something brilliant, but because they avoided doing something destructive. You see, wealth is less about choosing right and more about avoiding wrong. Calm investors avoid wrong. They avoid panic. They avoid impulsive trades. They avoid emotional traps. And by simply avoiding destruction, they allow creation. Their wealth grows quietly, like moss on stone, slow, steady, unstoppable. At this point, the topic expands beyond investing. Calmness in money is calmness in life, because the same emotions that sabotage investments also sabotage decisions, relationships, health, and purpose. Greed reflects impatience. Fear reflects insecurity. FOMO reflects lack of direction. Panic reflects lack of trust. Rushing reflects lack of clarity. To become a calm investor, one must become a calm human being. This journey shapes you in ways that numbers cannot measure. You learn to wait without anxiety. You learn to observe without reacting. You learn to decide without rushing. You learn to grow without forcing. You learn that true strength is quiet, and true wealth is internal before it becomes external. Calm investors live differently. They breathe deeper. They think longer. They consume less noise. They compare less. They move intentionally. They feel less urgency. They trust time more than temptation. Their wealth reflects who they become, not the other way around. Because in the end, the calm investor is not just a person who invests well. They are a person who lives well. They understand that the greatest returns come from peace, and peace comes from discipline. Calmness is a form of intelligence, a form of strength, a form of wisdom, and it is available to anyone willing to choose it. So, how do emotionless decisions create extraordinary wealth? Not through magic, not through secret strategies, but through the quiet mastery of self. The calm investor is not trying to beat the market. They are trying to beat their own impulses. And when they succeed, even a little, their wealth grows in ways emotional investors cannot understand. Because markets reward clarity, they reward patience, they reward consistency, they reward calmness. And over the years, calmness becomes compounding, and compounding becomes freedom. If there's one message to take from this video, it's this: you don't need to outsmart the market. You need to outstill yourself. In the end, extraordinary wealth is not built in noise. It is built in silence. If you enjoy calm reflections about wealth, subscribe for more, and tell me in the comments what part of investing challenges your calmness the most. Thank you for listening, and remember, true wealth isn't counted, it's cultivated. quietly, patiently, and without fear.